What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. So now on Smackdown, they are live from Bologna. Okay, see, it's spelled Bologna. It looks like it, but I'm not gonna say Bologna. But Bologna. But I'm saying Italy. That's where they at.
They in Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, I messed that up. I'm trying to be professional here, y'all. But Smackdown, once again, this day came on at 3 o'clock. I was out. I forgot all about Smackdown. Once again, I'm trying to get adjusted to these European shows, and it'd be coming on at 3, and then I end up watching it when it came on, like when they showed at 8 o'clock. So that's why I ended up watching Smackdown. I didn't really check too much of the spoilers of what had happened. But we kick off with Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes to the ring, and he has a segment with Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Owens is like, listen, look, I'm kind of sorry about what happened in a way. What we don't need to be focused on, us being fighting. What we can do is tag up and go get the tag team titles at WrestleMania. That's what we really should be doing. And then Orton says, look, yeah, thought about, no, we're not doing that. Because see, when you pile drive me, I start hearing the voices again. They counsel me and they understand. And he says, look, so only thing I'm going to feel like doing is cutting your head off, kicking your head off at WrestleMania. And then kick it clean off his shoulders. It was a decent promo that we're obviously going to get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And we're building up to the Punk kick spot, which we're clearly going to get, which is going to bring Orton to the matchup. And right now, I think Kevin Owens needs a regular match because Owens been putting his body through some hell for the past in 2025 alone. So I'm like, yeah, he needs he take this match and then go take some time off because that ladder match brutal, that unsanctioned match brutal. Kevin Owens can he can use a little bit of break. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Then let's see what we got. We had a tag team match. Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso taking on Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. Before we know it's going to be McIntyre and Priest and Mania. They're already building to that. What do you think Jimmy going to do at WrestleMania? In your honest opinion?
What though? Like, what do I think Jimmy going to do at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
he finna watch his wife go crazy versus Bianca. Versus Jade, sorry.
Yeah.
And then he gonna watch his brother maybe win the match against Gunther. I don't know.
Oh, so you think he gonna have a match at Mania?
No.
Yeah.
Unless they all gonna go after LA Knight.
Yo, that's what I'm scared of right now, bro. I'm thinking we about to get one of the multi-man matches for LA Knight's championship. I can see it being that way. And I mean, because as of right now, the mid-card titles really have no direction at WrestleMania.
Right.
At all. So.
Right.
But yeah, they had a tag team matchup. And, as of right now, Nakamura is like non-existent. So, Nakamura loses to the South of Heaven chokeslam.
Yeah.
But after that, Drew blindsides Damian Priest and beats him down to the cave. He tried to fight back, but he gives him a Claymore, and obviously gives more build to them for WrestleMania. And all we gotta do is just make it official. It's just a little tag match there. And I wasn't too mad about that. But the thing I'm tired of right now is Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. I'm over it. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'm over it.
And it's looking like, looking like the young bloodline about to be done anyway.
If you want to talk about fall off, Solo Sikoa just had to fall off after he lost to Roman. On Raw, if the fall off happened,
yeah,
the whole fall off happened. Now I'm trying to think, was it Braun or was it no, we had the face to face with Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton backstage interview that we had next. And I'm going to be honest with you, Q-Flow. I think it was that good.
Yeah, whoever's writing for Tiffany, y'all gotta do better. Cause Charlotte, like, I mean, being the veteran that she is, just like smoked her, and she ain't even do much. She ain't even do much. Tiffany's just using generic quote unquote insults, and it's like, bro, that's not going to work on Charlotte.
It's not. And she talked about some, everybody makes comparisons to Charlotte. She says, you ain't the only person that has been compared to me. Everybody gets compared to me. And she tried to say, Charlotte was, she was her biggest supporter of Charlotte, and Charlotte does all this, and I was just like, Tiff, and I love Tiffany Stratton, but I'm like,
it's whoever's writing for her, man.
It ain't working for me though.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, and once again, this match to me, even though they had that brawl last week, this match to me still needs some more heat to it. It needs something to cook a little bit more. Cause look, and once again, I understand everybody. Cause I've seen online everybody say that the road to WrestleMania this year don't really feel like the road to WrestleMania. And I'm like, granted, every year at WrestleMania we don't always get like bangers all the time, but a lot of reasons we had The Rock last year.
Yeah,
we had The Rock last year. It was come back to Philly. And they turned a mistake that they should never made in the first place into money. They caught lightning in a bottle, and it just so happened. I'm not talking about how the execution was, but I'm talking about everything at WrestleMania. Every story, most of the stories going in there were some hot stories. The tag match, which will implicate how the main event is set for night 2. Then you still had the Uso storyline, which once again, despite how y'all feel about the match and how the match sucked, the story going into it was fire.
It was incredible.
Was straight fire. God, you had the underdog and Sami Zayn, even though he was still feuding with Chad Gable, still going there, and see if he could beat Gunther. Yeah, you had a lot. You still had Charlotte. You had not Charlotte. You had Rhea and Becky. And then you still, you had a lot of good things going into WrestleMania 41. And, some stories were just, average. And some stories, was hot. But right now, we don't even have a Rock element here. We got John Cena, who's still part-time. And we still got stuff that just needs more heat to it. That the fans is like, I liked it at first, but I don't know if I'm really feeling it right now. So I get it. It's just constant things that you do have to do. Triple H does have to do. And then once again, also, people get tuned out if they don't know what the path is for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, as of right now, we know it's going to be McIntyre and Drew. We know it's going to be a triple threat match between Punk, Rollins, and Seth. We know it's going to be Jade and Naomi. Those are the matches they haven't officially announced yet, or even Rhea, Bianca, and Neil. They haven't officially announced these matches, but we know that's where it's going to go. But everything else, we don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what LA Knight's doing for WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso keep talking about WrestleMania. I don't know what he's doing. We don't know what the Street Profits are doing in that whole tag division. We don't know anything of what. I don't even think the Raw Tag Team titles is going to make it to WrestleMania. I don't even know what Bayley's doing for WrestleMania. There's a lot of things that we just don't know. I don't even know what Jacob Fatu is doing for WrestleMania, and we know he shouldn't even miss it. And we just don't know. And I think when people don't know, it takes them out. And once again, we had Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu again. And I was like, whatever spark that they had on Saturday night's main event, this thing should be done. It should be over. And once again, it's not, because we got a DQ finish at the end of this matchup again. I'm like, can we please? Because Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, they come out, and I'm like, I know y'all not treading water for Tonga Loa to come back. I'm like, really? Like, we can't tell a story without Tonga Loa. I know that ain't the case here. I know they're not gonna probably pull the trigger on Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu at Mania. Maybe afterwards, maybe build up to a SummerSlam thing. But right now, the Braun and Jacob Fatu stuff, I am done. Jacob Fatu needs to be doing something better than this. I think he needs to do something better than this. And once again, I don't know what his path is for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm getting mad because, like, Jacob is doing everything to stay, hot. And they just giving him poor direction.
Exactly. Because honestly, I think that they should have been building to Solo and Jacob at Mania months ago. After he lost to Olafala, that's what they should have been building to. Because right now, there's other than Solo being extremely nice to him, there's still no heat behind that. He's been doing Braun Strowman for like the past 3 weeks.
Well, it's a little heat now.
I mean, yeah, it's a little heat now
because they ruined his match.
But I'm like, are they going to pull the trigger like next week? Like, is Jacob going to be like finally super kick Solo in the side of the head and be like, yo, me and you at Mania, and like kick him out and then have time? Like, I don't know what I don't know what the plan is for that. So they had Selena Vega taking on Piper Niven in a match that went a little bit too long, but Piper Niven.
Poor Zelina, bro.
What you got? What you got to say? Why? Because she came out to you can hear
nothing.
I know a mouse pissing on cotton.
And it's because they changed her song.
Yo, is that Def Rebel still?
Yes, it's Def Rebel.
Oh, I thought they got rid of Def Rebel, bro.
No, not yet. Their contract is up though, so they gonna be going soon.
Yo, because you being a music guy, whatever happened with what was the reason we got rid of the CFOs? I love the CFOs.
I don't know. I think their contract was just up, and they didn't re-sign.
That's great because I love the CFOs, but this Def Rebel stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but poor Selena Vega. She and it's one thing to get a quiet reaction from a crowd when you in the States, but when you international and
that's what I'm saying.
When you know how loud international crowds can be and you still get no pop, I'm like, that's a hurt piece.
Right.
That I was like, ugh, poor Selena. I'm glad you brought that up also. So we build up for Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan. By the way, did you see that painting that somebody did of the Liv Lisa or the Mona
Oh yeah, Morgan, the Mona Liv.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That was fire.
That was good. Yeah, no, it was really good.
This is Jade Cargill's first singles match, I think, in 7 months.
Wow.
So, and it was like, well, it shows how much they trust her. So, like, go back to the Performance Center. But I think her match with Liv was fine. Other than, posing a little bit too much. I was like, but other than that, I think her match with Liv tonight was fine. But
I don't know how true it is, but she has a lot of backstage heat with the girls.
Yeah, what I'm saying? Once again, I don't know how much of that is true or not, because once again, there's always the kind of heat like that with it. But I really truly hope that most of them is stories and that she does be humble and understand that there is more work to do. And once again, just because you was AEW for them 2-3 years, I'm just saying there's a lot that needs to go into the craft for you to go to WWE. Right. And once again, looking at her match, it was a fine match. But it's just the one thing I was trying to explain to everybody. And I was like, listen, I understand people want Bianca and Jade, right? But Jade is not yet at that level to hold a program. Like, first of all, this is the test program right here. Her and Naomi is a test program right here. We got to see, how does she succeed in this in this right? Does she know how to get babyface heat? Does she know how to get heel heat? Does she know how to get heat, period? Because and I'm going to get to that in a second. Before, I'm like, you don't just throw her in there with a superstar. Like, Bianca is a superstar. She's a Bianca is not mid. Bianca is a main eventer. Bianca, they put her in a tag team with Jade to help Jade out. Okay? It ain't like because Bianca fell off. In order for them to help, that's what it was. Bianca's a superstar, and look, as soon as they had this little falling out, Bianca's in the title picture again. That's how it works. That's their top, one of their top women stars next to Rhea. So that's why I was like, they're not going to do Jade and Bianca right now because Jade not ready to be in that position just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the match, and then after the match, no, not after the match, during the match, Naomi comes out. Like Naomi comes to the crowd, and Jay is like staring at her, and then Naomi comes in when the ref is distracted and hits Jay with the title belt, which sets up Liv Morgan for the what's the finishing move again?
The Oblivion.
Yeah, the Oblivion. Yeah, and then
the Oblivion.
Yeah, and she pins Jay Cargill clean. Like, well, not necessarily clean, but she does pin Jay Cargill. After the match, Naomi comes in there, starts beating up Jay Cargill. She gets on the apron. She knocks Jay Cargill off into the announce table while Naomi does her pose. Okay, so let me talk about what I liked about it first. Number one, Naomi got some heat back because she got her ass kicked 2 days in a row, like 2 times in a row from Jay Cargill. And I'm like, you gotta get your heat back. Number 2, I like the little Owen Hart tribute. I like the caution tape that Owen Hart had, because that for those who don't remember, when Owen Hart went heel, that's what he had. He had the caution tape on, and he had this song, Enough is Enough, it's a time for a change. And that was heel Owen Hart. So I enjoy the way she had it. I enjoyed the fit. I enjoyed the look. Now, with that being said, I did not like her reaction when she came out. She got some boos, but they weren't that big. And I'm like, that's what I was afraid of. That's the one thing I was afraid of with this turn. And what I was afraid of was Naomi is way too likable, right? People just love Naomi. They have no issue with Naomi. Naomi has been here for a long ass time, over 10 years. And when it comes to like little girls and fans just genuinely love Naomi. So it's kind of hard to boo her, and you're not giving her a reason, especially when she's in a feud where people may naturally not like Jay Cargill. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The test comes in at. And I'm like, could it be a thing where people are listening to the backstage rumors about her having heat, and if that happens, the fans are naturally not going to like her. And if they feel as though that she has issues in the ring, she's not being humble, she thinks she knows it all, or she hasn't paid her dues yet, then you're naturally going to go with the woman that has paid her dues, which is Naomi. But she's supposed to be the heel, and Jay's supposed to be the face. And if Jay can't get herself some babyface heat, and if Naomi can't get herself some more heat, then you're going to have a problem on your hands at WrestleMania when it comes to these two. And then it's going to be like, all right, well, it shows that we can't trust Jade as a solo performer right now, as a babyface. Maybe we got to focus on trying to turn her heel.
Right.
And see how she works out that way. And that's my one of my biggest concerns. I was like, Naomi's she's getting booed. They booed her, but it wasn't. I'm not saying I was expecting Dom level heat, or I'm expecting New Day or early New Day level heat. I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting the crowd to interact a little bit more with it, because the way the boo sounded, it felt like half the crowd was booing her because by principle she's a heel, but then also on the flip side of it, I don't really want to, because it's Naomi. Now, how did you feel about it?
Well, I thought the whole segment was cool. I didn't realize she wasn't getting booed like that, though. So thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, man, I don't know where this is going either. And then, like I said, like if you on Twitter, they all beefing. Like, honestly, you could make a triple threat out of this, because they all, Bianca and Jade throwing jabs at each other. Jade and Naomi throwing jabs at each other. Bianca not trying to hear what Naomi got to say. Like,
oh yeah.
So it's just like, bro, all the girlies is beefing, man.
So fill me in on what's going on with Bianca and Jade, because I didn't, I know Jade and Naomi been throwing shots on Twitter.
So you said what, Bianca and Jade?
Yeah, I'm not saying what's going on.
Yeah, so somebody was saying like, first off, they was talking about y'all should have said something. The people defending Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
was like you should have said something about Liv Morgan, blah blah. And my thing was like, well, how she was not like she was gone. Yeah. What was she going to say? You feel me? And then she was like, you let Liv Morgan get accused. I'm like, no, she got beat up. She was gone. That doesn't work. It don't work that way. You feel me? And she's like, well, she was like, I never accused or said that Liv Morgan did it. Why I gotta do all that? She was like, I already said she was cool. She was like, I said she was cool. I never accused her, which is true. She never accused her. But you know how Twitter goes. So then somebody's like, well, you could have at least said something to Bianca or whatever. And that's when it went left. I forgot what she said. I don't really have the time. No, I could probably go find it. So somebody said, respectfully, this is how it started. Somebody said, respectfully, you owe Liv and Raquel an apology for not revealing the attack, not the whole attack, much sooner than you did. And Jay said, I didn't accuse them of shit. And I didn't, and I don't trust anyone. Capital letters, anyone. So I get the short end because I accused them, right? I sat back and I was getting my mental right. Y'all are sick. So somebody said, nah, for real, you could have at least said something to Bianca before and after all this with Naomi, because sis was confused as us. Jay said, now this is where I think Jay's going to end up being the heel in this, and it don't make sense, but whatever. She said, I don't trust her ass either. Naomi and I were closer.
The fuck? Okay.
So then Bianca says, and see, right. So Bianca says, and you see where that got you, but you still mad at me. I didn't do shit to you. Leave me be. I have enough of people trying to blame me over on Raw. And then she gonna post the picture of the little chalk outline.
Yeah.
In the shape of Naomi. I mean, in the shape of Jade. Jay says, girl, nobody was coming at you. I answered a question like I did on Smackdown. But I will if you want to make it she said, but I will if you want to make it a thing. Seems like you are always in some mess, though. You would think you be over here trying to mend Naomi or fix this mess, but nope. And then Bianca says, did Bianca respond? It don't look like Bianca responded.
Okay.
Nah, she didn't respond.
Well, yeah, so
yeah, that's how, yeah. So now they got this whole thing going. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the way Jade's typing, she gonna end up being the heel in this, and it don't really make sense to me. But whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I was trying to tell everybody there about who attacked, I'm like, listen, Naomi needed fresh gold paper. See, this the same thing. Sometimes people don't remember. Naomi turned heel back in 2013, I think it was, and she tried to go heel. And it didn't last long, and then she tried to have Team Bad.
I was about to say, is that when she was Team Bad?
When she had a little heel run even before Team Bad. She had when she was just doing it by herself, and then she was out there. This is what Freshman told Diva was going on, like 2013, something like that. And it was just hard to boo Naomi, and she wasn't just really, because she was like, being like the hood John, and I'll snatch your hair back, and then for scap, and the people started like liking it.
You bald. Yeah, I remember.
And the people started liking it. They do say they did Team Bad, and they were trying to turn Team Bad into Female New Day, and I was just like, it just don't ever last long, And I'm just like, well, when it comes to this, Jade is not necessarily playing a babyface right now for people. If like I said, if the rumors are true, which is this is wrestling. This is the dirt sheets. People are going to read that stuff. If they read that and they see your they see your tweets and all that stuff like that, they're naturally not going to like you. And they're like, well, we know Naomi is playing a part to try to be healed, but right now we would naturally. Maybe she was right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what will it even last long at all? So that's the only thing I'm a little worried about. I'm hoping, what I'm saying, that I want Naomi has to do something egregious to really get some heel heat on her to the point where people have to be forced to like Jade. You know what I'm saying? And that little beatdown that Naomi gave her on Friday wasn't enough, in my personal opinion. It was. I mean, like, she gotta say something.
It's not enough.
It wasn't not enough. Few saw something left, but not enough. I'm saying she gotta like go to her daughter and say some crap to her daughter, like mug her daughter's face or something like that.
Hey yo,
Just say you got to try to do something. The Street Profits had a match with Los Garza, just like an impromptu match because they're the new tag team champions. Montes had a highlight when they try to give him a military press on the top rope, and he lands on his feet. Dope. He's tense. Yeah. And they sat there and they wanted to match up. But let's we get to the main event segment. Paul Heyman comes out, so Roman Reigns comes out first, and Roman once again they feeling Roman in Italy. You know, he is half Italian, so they feeling Roman in Italy. And
shut up.
Yeah, so he talks. He got all the time in the world. So anybody got anything to say to the OTC, they can say it to him. You know now, and we gotta get to some business tonight. Seth Rollins comes out. Crowd sings along to the song, the usual stuff like that. Heads out to the ring and says, "Listen, you messed up. I had a chance to put away that problem, CM Punk, once and for all, and you screwed that over, and now you Punk is a danger to this company, and you should let me finish what I had started." And then he says, "But look, we came into the company together, and when we can no longer coexist, it's about time that we add another chapter to the story." But before we get any further with that statement, CM Punk comes out. And the crowd is really behind CM Punk. And then CM Punk grabs the mic and says that before we get this circus kicked off, which prelude to the brawl, let's address some facts. He said the Big Chief or Grimace, because he was the way Seth Rollins was dressed. Because I was like, the man looked like a wall in Studio 54 by the blue he had wearing. He said I helped out your family at Survivor Series, which, by the way, Paul Heyman still owes me a favor. And by the way, it's the Royal Rumble. It's every man for themselves. So nobody is going to help you. So, but after he brings up the favor in War Games, he just goes after Roman, and then they go and have a brawl. And literally during this brawl, it is CM Punk beats both of them down, points them at the WrestleMania sign. Seth Rollins has a point where he beats both of them down, stands tall, and points at the WrestleMania sign. Talk about something. You guys want to go? Let's do it. And then Roman Reigns takes him out with the steel steps, and then does his point at the WrestleMania sign, and as they brawl to go off there for Smackdown. And I love the CM Punk and Seth Rollins brawl on Monday a couple weeks ago. This whole segment, in my personal opinion, I felt disappointed by. Now, once again, I know people they're not agree with me on this, but I felt as though I was like, man, listen, I know it's gonna be a triple threat, but I'm like, we got to put something on the line here. Like, maybe it's a triple threat for a number one contender shot. Maybe it got to be for something. Because honestly, I could just have Punk versus Roman for all that. We could just have Punk versus Seth for all that, but we didn't have it. And I'm like, okay, we get this triple threat match, but it got to be something. It felt like I really wanted to see what the mic were. I really wanted to see CM Punk and Roman on the mic together, because we got enough of that CM Punk and Seth Rollins already. And Seth Rollins could have been the one that came out there and interrupted them, since he was the one who's going to come to SmackDown, since it already was scheduled for CM Punk and Roman Reigns to be on there in the first place. I think it was much more to be desired. I felt personally a little disappointed by the main event. Now, you probably felt differently. You can let me know that one.
I don't know. I kind of tuned out towards the end. I feel like I know what I'm about to get with this triple threat match. So I'm not really looking to see anything significant, I guess. That's really all I got though. I'm just here when it comes to this portion. I'm just here for the ride.
When you talking this portion of like SmackDown or triple threat or what?
with Roman Reigns, this portion of building towards WrestleMania. I'm just here for the ride as far as Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins.
I wanted a little bit more promo work from them. And first of all, they came out at 15 minutes. And I was like, well, we ain't gonna really have time to really do anything. And I'm like, you don't want to oversaturate pull apart brawls since we just did 2 of them in the past week. And I'm like, you can't just be like, all right, we gotta build some heat, pull apart brawl. You gotta be better than that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be better than that. So, but that was SmackDown, a little bit in a nutshell. And to me, it more need to be desired for it personally. But I once again, we got 4. Is it 4 or 3 weeks to Mania? I think it's 3 full weeks to Mania, or 4 full weeks. I don't necessarily.
We got.
If I check my calendar here, it's looking like
1, 2, 3, about 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We got exactly 4 weeks to WrestleMania. So y'all got to do some more builds, confirm some matches, get some heat on these matches, and let's see where this necessarily goes.